What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So we're gonna jump right into this topic. So the 304 phase is why so many women are single. Do you agree or disagree with that? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. And if we have some ladies watching, definitely chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I hear so many people talk about, when you're young, you don't have to go out here and take relationships seriously. You can just be young. Young people should not be burdened with trying to get a husband and a man. Go out, have your fun, live your life. This is what I've been hearing all my life. That it's okay because you're young. You can go out and experiment and have you a good time and do you. You don't need a man trying to control you or trying to hold you back and trying to tell you what to do and all of these things. You're too young for that. This is what I've heard growing up, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard the same thing. People have basically made it seem like because you're young, you're not supposed to focus on relationships or marriage, but you're supposed to go out and just have fun and live your life. I think that was a big mistake. I think that was coming from a lot of women who were married young. Our grandmothers were married young and they had 10 and 12 children with their husbands. And somehow they were able to make their marriages work. But then somehow they started telling their granddaughters, oh, don't do that. Don't focus on a man. Focus on your education so you can take care of yourself and you don't have to depend on the man. And so I think women really took that and they ran with it and they said, okay, good. I don't need to depend on the man. I got to make my own money and I need to take care of myself, which is fine. You should be able to take care of yourself as an adult. But what was so bad about focusing on a man and building with a man, preferably your husband? What was so wrong about connecting with a man and you guys working together, building together, and building your lives together so you could be much further ahead by the time you're 30 and 40 years old? I don't see anything wrong with that. But a lot of women realize that that was a mistake, but they hate to admit it. They realize that, they went out and they had all their fun. They created a couple of babies out there. And then by the time they're in their 40s, they are now ready to settle down. We see this happening everywhere. They're ready to settle down and they're looking for a man to settle down with. But now you have 2 or 3 kids, 2-3 baby daddies. And you're not realizing that your marketplace value, not you as a person, but your value in the way that men see you is diminished. And I don't care how many women think that is not the truth. It is the case because women don't realize that you don't determine that. That's up to the men to determine. A man has to decide if he wants to be with you or not. Bottom line. So you don't have any control over the choices of men. And I think this is where it blows a lot of these women's minds because they're like, when I'm ready to do it, I'm going to do it. No, you can be ready all you want. If there isn't a man standing there who wants to take you on as his wife or girlfriend or whatever you want to call it, then he's not going to do it and it's not going to happen. So women do not have control in that arena. The thing that you have control over is what they told you to go and exploit. Have your fun. See this one, that one, and that one. And then you end up with all these babies. And now you still think that your value is at the top when it comes to the type of man that you want. So fast forward, then we're here after the 304 phase, after you done run it up, you done ran that body count up and now you had all your fun. Now you done got it out your system. And now you're 38, 40 years old with your 3 kids. And now your expectations are higher because you done dealt with the fun guys that you decided to play around with, who were not ready to be fathers, who were not ready to be in serious relationships, who were not ready for committed relationships, and neither were you. And so now you're done with that, but you have kids and you don't understand what that means to a man who's always had standards, who was taught to not go out and make random babies all over the place, a man who was taught that he's going to marry a wife, create his children with his wife. You're talking to these guys now, responsible men who were raised to be this way. Now you're expecting these men to come and take on you in all of your irresponsible choices because it wasn't a big thing for you because nobody told you that would have a negative consequence. They just told you to have your fun and go to college and take care of yourself. See, we're not dealing with the same guys that you dealt with and who you made the babies with because y'all didn't have no expectations. There was no requirements. There were no standards. So you get what you get. For the men who've always had standards, that is beneath them. And I think a lot of women have not taken into consideration what those particular men that they want now, you didn't take into consideration the things that they would want. And that's why we're here in this catch-22. Now we have women who are shaming men who don't want to take on them and their 3 kids. They're shaming men, saying men should, it's an honor for men to want to take on single mothers. No, it's not. You want them to take you on and treat you as this high class woman who deserves a good man, and what he wants, he must not deserve what he wants, and his standards and what he wants in a woman shouldn't matter. Make it make sense. So we got to look at it for what it really is. If you were a woman, let's put yourself in the shoes of the men that you're asking to take on you and your 3 kids. If you had been working as a woman your whole life and you were taught to preserve your body, to not go out here and give it to Pookie, Ray Ray, Ken, and Tyrone, that you should preserve your body till marriage, that you should not have children. It's okay if you go get a degree, go get your degree, work hard, focus on what it is that you want, prioritize relationships so that you can build a family. If you were taught to do that and you did that and you kept your body out the street, you never was for the streets, you never gave your body up, you're preserving yourself for your husband. And then when you start dating and meeting guys, and you meet a guy who got 5 baby mamas, 5 kids all over the place, never married any of them, never been committed to any woman that he's had a child with, never been in a serious committed relationship whatsoever, never prioritized relationships, don't want a relationship now, but he's looking to just smash. Do you think, as this woman that you were raised to be, that you should allow yourself to be in a relationship with this guy or play around with this guy after all the work that you put in to establish your standards and to put yourself in a position so that you can get the type of man that you want and the family that you want? Do you think that you should allow yourself to be with that type of man? Put yourself in that position as the woman and ask yourself if you would want to date that guy. And the answer is probably no. So we got to do better for the next generation. If this generation didn't get it, if the last generation didn't get it, you got to do something differently so that the next generation of young people can get it. And maybe we could have better relations between one another and build better together, because as long as we're separated, it's going to be difficult. And I don't care how much money you think you have as a single woman, single mother, it's going to be difficult. And I think we can always do better together. And we got to stop thinking that this 304 phase is something that you have to do, because you do not. That is not it. And that is not a good thing to tell these young people. At the end of the day, you're going to be left bitter, angry, confused, depressed. Because at the end of the day, when you choose that type of lifestyle, you end up by yourself. Nobody wants to really take you seriously. You're just a person that's being passed around from this one, that one, and they never really take you seriously. And I don't care if you get a few dollars out of it, get a bag out of it, that is not worth it. So I know I said a lot. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Y'all know what it is. Chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.